Hi, writers. Today we're going to be talking about something that is very important for us to do when we think that we're finished with our writing pieces. Today I want to teach you that writers have to self-assess their work. This is just like we did back when we were in school. When we finished a piece, we wouldn't just get up and go start a new one. We would look at our checklist to make sure that we had all of the things in the checklist in our writing. So that's what you're going to be helping me do today. And then when we finish this recording together, you're going to go take a look at your writing and use the checklist to help you self-assess. So first I have our our writing checklist in front of me. And these are the things that we need to make sure that we have in our opinion letters when we're writing about reading. First, we have to think about our structure. That's like how our writing piece is made up, all the different parts. So the first thing that we have to look at is the beginning, or what we call a lead. I wrote a beginning in which I gave my opinion about a book or a series. So my beginning has to tell my opinion. I think, I don't think. You're going to give your opinion in the very beginning. The next part is using transition words. Words like because, also, another. And then we're going to think about our ending. Did we write an ending that reminded our readers of our opinion, and did we give it a rating? We're also going to be asking ourselves, did our writing letter have different parts with evidence and examples for each part? Next, we're going to think about the development, like how we elaborated. Did we write at least 2 reasons and wrote some sentences about each one? Did we use words that will help a reader agree with our opinion? And then as always, we're going to be checking for our spelling to make sure that we have all of our sight words correct. And we're going to make sure that we began with a capital and ended with a period. So let's start going. I'm going to leave both of these things side by side to make it easier for us to look back and forth to see if I was able to put all these things inside my writing. So I'm going to start reading, and I think I'll be looking for the introduction first. Dear Miss Ruiz, I know you love funny stories, and I know you love to laugh. Have you ever read the series Horrible Harry? If not, you should read it. I think you should read Horrible Harry in Room 2B because it is a funny story and Harry is a hilarious character. So let me look at the checklist and see if I did everything that the checklist says I should do in my beginning. I wrote a beginning in which I gave my opinion about a book or a series. Did I use the word like I think? Let me go back. I said it right here. I think you should read Horrible Harry in Room 2B because it's a funny story and Harry is a hilarious character. So I definitely did my job with my introduction by naming my opinion. I think you should read it. And I gave you like a little sneak peek about what I'm going to say because it's funny and he's a hilarious character. Let me keep reading and see if I have transition words. Do I have words like because, also, or another? This is a great book to read because the main character, Harry, is hilarious. Yep, I have because. That's a transition word. Let me keep reading to see if I have because in another place, or maybe if I need to also include also or another. Harry loves pranking his classmates and making them laugh. One time, Harry made these things called stub people for Halloween and put them on the kids' chairs because he wanted to make them scream. That was really funny. So I have because again. Let me keep seeing if there's another place where I can maybe add some more transition words. You should read Horrible Harry because the story is really funny. Maybe I could add something here. Maybe instead of starting with you should read, maybe I can say you should also read it because it's a really funny story. You should read the Horrible Harry book. No, I don't like how that's going to sound. Let me think about it. I want to use the word also. I also think you should read. Yeah, I like how that sounds. So let's add that. I also think, and now I don't need a capital here, so I'm going to make that lowercase. I also think you should read the Horrible Harry book because the story is really funny. So now I have another transition word. It was okay that I had because up here, but I don't want to keep saying because. I want to add another transition word to get my reader to understand my opinion and agree with me. So now I have my beginning and I have my transitions. Let me see. I'm going to skip the ending for right now and I'm going to look at the different parts. Do I have some different parts, like some different ideas about why you should read this story? Let's check. Let me go back. Well, right here, this whole part was me saying that you should read the book, that Miss Ruiz should read the book because Harry is a funny character. So that's one part. One part of my letter is that she should read it because Harry is funny. Let's see if I have another part that's different from what I just said. I also think you should read Horrible Harry book because the story is really funny. So here is another part. My first part was that Harry is funny, but now my second part is that the whole story is funny. So I definitely have two different parts, and I have a few sentences about each one. Here, this whole paragraph was about Harry being hilarious, and this whole section is about it being a funny story. Because I say each chapter has a new crazy thing that Harry's trying out. For example, in the chapter Harry's Triple Revenge, Harry got revenge on his classmate Sydney by putting something gross in his hand. Sydney was so mad and Harry was laughing the whole time. That was one of the best chapters in the book. So I named what I thought. It's a really funny story, and I gave some evidence, some examples to match why I think she should read this. So I think I'm pretty good with that. Now let me go to my ending. The ending says that I wrote an ending that reminded the reader of my opinion and gave it a rating. I think Horrible Harry is the best story ever. So I definitely reminded Miss Ruiz of my opinion. So that I did well. But it says I give it a rating. I didn't do that yet. So maybe I should give it a rating like 1 star, 5 stars. I think Horrible Harry is the best story ever. I give it 5 stars. Now I found something that I didn't include and I made a change right here. And you can do the same thing. If there's something you notice that you didn't put in your writing after you look at the checklist, you can definitely go back and add it or make any changes. I think Horrible Harry is the best story ever. I give it 5 stars. I think you should read Horrible Harry in Room 2B because it is a very funny story and because Harry is a funny character. I reminded Miss Ruiz of what I said up here in my introduction. You should go to the library and check out a Horrible Harry book. Believe me, this is the best book ever. So I think that my conclusion is pretty good also. Let's check the rest of the checklist. I wrote at least 2 reasons and I wrote at least a few sentences about each one. Well, do I have 2 things that make it a good book to read? I sure do. It's funny and Harry is a hilarious character. So those are the 2 ideas that I have about reading this book. I chose words that would make my reader agree with my opinion. That's like my word choice, my craft. Well, I like the way that I use the word hilarious. I think that was a good one. I said that he would make them laugh and that it was really funny. I think that was a good word. So I'm pretty good with my word choice. Even like when I said here, believe me. That's like a phrase that I put in. Now let's go to our conventions. This is when we make sure that we're doing all the things that 2nd grade writers do, with capitals, with spelling, with punctuation. I use what I know about spelling patterns to spell a word. Definitely. I think my spelling is okay. Like revenge. I know that that's like the soft G, j, and so I have that correct. I spelled all the word wall words or my sight words correctly. Absolutely, because funny, character, library. I began each sentence with a capital letter and ended the sentence with a period. I sure did. Capital, period. capital, period. And I did it all the way through my entire piece. I even ended with 2 exclamation marks. You could use 1, but I used 2 because I really wanted Miss Ruiz to see just exactly how excited I am for her to read this story. So writers, I'm going to give you another reminder of what your job is today. Today I taught you that opinion writers self-assess. They make sure that when they think they're completely done, that they go and use the checklist to help them see if they need to make any changes in their writing or if they're ready to publish and start a new piece later. So I want you to make sure that you're using the writing checklist in the Google Classroom. It should be in the writing section. Your teachers have a folder called Writing Resources. The writing checklist is there. The mentor text is there. The writing paper to download is there. So your materials are there for you. So make sure that you go to that section of your Google Classroom, go find the writing checklist, and make sure that you're using the writing checklist and using it to help you assess your own writing work. So right now, writers, go get that checklist and go try this out yourself. I can't wait to read your writing. Bye, guys.